What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are good. I'm heading to a signing, and just wanted to chat with you guys a little bit. I actually wanted to make a follow-up video to my last video, the video I just posted about big changes that are coming, specifically here in New Jersey. But I wanted to follow it up specifically and talk about um, remote online notarization because I know that's kind of one of the hot topics right now in the industry. I just kind of want to give you some perspective and things that I kind of learned and heard um, through a meeting I was in. So my team, our real estate team, was in a meeting with actually with the title company that I'm building a relationship with, and it's actually the title company that uh, both of the attorneys that I use, they use this particular title company. And so I'm building a relationship with this title company and working towards getting some direct business with them. So that's kind of in the works. But I was in this meeting and they were presenting in this meeting with my team, and it was pretty much like their, I think, director of business development and two of their closing heads or leads. And I asked a question about whether um, how soon do they think, um, the mortgage industry from their perspective and title will be looking to do everything completely remotely. And their response was not really what I expected. They responded and said, we hope it never goes that way. um, and it's interesting because I didn't expect them to say that. But I mean, part of, title companies, people think that, whether it's a purchase or a sale or a refinance, that, every title company is the same. And that's not the case. There's title companies out there that provide a much higher level of service than others. Um, and so, that's kind of a differentiating factor for many title companies, the customer service they provide, the connectivity, the relationships they provide for their customers. But specifically, they said that they hope that it never goes fully online, and they acknowledge the fact that certain lenders are moving more toward the direction of doing hybrid closings, where the signer or the borrower can sign certain documents online, with the lender, typically the most non-important documents. But there's, certain critical documents that the signer will have to sign, um, with a wet signature. Um, Notarization, a live notarization is going to have to still take place. And they hope it stays that way. And I understand now a bit more why they would want it to stay that way. One, because they like the interaction with people. They want the human touch. They want the connectivity with people and with their customers. They don't want to relegate this whole process to just being, electronic and robotic, because, you need, to some degree, a human touch with regard to this process. The other thing is that if you think about I'm talking specifically about loan signings and loan closings. Uh, it's ultimately the title company's responsibility and the lender's responsibility to make sure that documents are executed correctly, and that documents such as the mortgage and note and all these documents that need to get recorded with the county, with the state, or whatever. It's ultimately their responsibility to make sure that they get recorded. So they have definitely an interest in making sure that things are done correctly. And so when you start talking about remote online notarization, you also start talking about um, technology. You also start talking about the potential for foul play, and for bad actors, for people to start doing fraudulent things with with the online process. Now, I know on these platforms there are certain authentication mechanisms and all this kind of stuff, but yet and still you introduce quite a bit of risk with regard to people being able to do certain things, and title companies don't want to take on that risk. They already have enough risk involved in what they do just in their normal course of business by issuing title insurance, right? They already have risk associated with that. They don't want to take on the additional risk of people doing fraudulent things, like the title industry has had to deal with, and mortgage industry has had to deal with wire fraud, right? That's been a big thing over the past several years, right? And so they don't want to take on another point of failure, or another point that will allow people to do things that are fraudulent, such as, like, people being able to fake identity and do all this other kind of stuff, right? Because think about it, when you're not so much in a refinance, but definitely in a purchase, you're talking about properties being transferred from one person to another. And if there's fraudulent activity and identity fraud and things like that that happen, or that remote online notarization allows to happen, or people figure out loopholes and things like that, then you're talking about properties being transferred fraudulently, and then you talk about, like, more title issues, right? And so it's more complicated, and this is kind of what I tried to say in a past video. I'm not saying that Ron is not going to be big. I think it is going to get big, but I just don't think, as I said in the previous video, that all of the mortgage industry and the title industry are going to just run towards it. I think things are going to become more hybrid, but I think at the end of the day, when it comes to those critical documents, that mortgage, that note, certain documents, I don't think the title industry is going to be too anxious, based on my conversation with this title company. And I know it's just one conversation with one title company, but it's just kind of the sentiment and the way they shared it. I think maybe the way that a lot of title companies are thinking. That's my thought. I don't think a lot of title companies are going to be running to do this. And then you have to understand that when these documents have to be signed and notarized a certain way, because they have to be recorded a certain way. So if eNotary, or if Ron introduces a new way of doing things, and it kind of complicates how documents get submitted and recorded, it's just a lot of complexity. Like, there's a lot of players and a lot of stakeholders that will have an opinion on if everything goes completely remote. So I'm not saying at all don't get up on the technology and don't learn. I'm not saying not to learn about it. We should learn about it. We should even be on these platforms so that we fully understand Ron for ourselves. However, I'm saying that my opinion, and I've said this, like I said in another video, is that the mortgage industry, title industry are not going to just wake up one day and start saying, "Oh, we want to do everything online." I don't think that's going to happen. Not anytime soon, anyway. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know the future, but just based on that conversation, I think the industry is going to be the mortgage industry, title industry is going to be a little slow to adopt remote online notarization. So comment down below with your thoughts, or if you've had conversations with title companies that might differ from the conversation I've had. I would love to hear it. I'm heading into the signing. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.